first thing you're going to want to do is create the ideal watery environment to multiply and flourish one of Earth's most primitive life forms, the bacteria lactobacillus. And that would be a solution similar to the salinity of the ocean, which is 3.5% salt, 3 times the salinity of the human tear. It's the lactobacillus, the engines of fermentation, that are going to transform your peppers to another level and your food to another universe, transforming sugars into lactic acid, a natural preservative, while mellowing and enhancing flavors, as all part of a magical transformation. Not only will a 3% brine solution allow lactobacillus to flourish, but will inhibit harmful bacteria from forming. A keeper at the gate, as Guru Ji once said. We did our best to keep them out of our midst. But from time to time, those with nefarious motives did make it in. That's a different story. Let's get back to fermentation. You're going to want to have on hand pickling salt, a container that holds at least 8 cups of water, like a jar or a bowl, and a measuring spoon, and enough spring or distilled water. Use purified water with no chlorine. Chlorine will kill everything. You're going to want to use pickling salt with no iodine. No iodine. Otherwise, your ferment is going to become cloudy. Back in the day, many times, when we had set up our camp along the seaside, we would use water straight out of the ocean. Some of the best hot sauce I ever tasted. Remember, do not use table salt. For 3% brine, the ratio is 1 1/4 teaspoon salt for 1 cup of water. So for 8 cups of water, which we'll be using here, we will use 10 teaspoons of salt. You can either use warm water or cold, but warm is going to dissolve the salt much faster. Pour up to your mark, and in our case, it's an 8-cup mark. Okay, now it's time to add the salt. Simply dip the measuring spoon into the salt, level off, and pour it in teaspoon by teaspoon. Now remember, it's important not to be drinking or doing any type of drug during this step, because you might lose count of how many teaspoons you put in. And this is why the Guru strongly advised against it during the heyday of the operation. Because there was many instances where someone lost count, so that all our labors of growing, harvesting, and preparing were lost due to drugs and alcohol. Don't make the same mistake. Just say no. After all the salt has been added, mix or shake the mixture until all the salt has dissolved. It will take a little bit longer if it's cold. Once all the salt granules have disappeared, and the water is absolutely clear, you're finished. And the brine is complete. You have created the perfect solution for lactobacillus to multiply and thrive while inhibiting the nefarious characters of other harmful life forms. Congratulations! You have completed the first step of hot sauce fermentation and started towards a better life ahead.